Welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna be honest with you, this was not the plan today. Plan today was a hunt that I recorded last night, and I was working on editing it when I sat down for some dinner, and I realized I missed out on some pretty big news. We got some gameplay footage from Way of the Hunter, and we got some more news on Call of the Wild, the Angler. So I wanted to make a short video for today's video, kind of raw, unedited, and then I'll edit just a couple clips in when we start talking about the Angler. But we're gonna look at this trailer together. I've already watched it. I'm gonna mute the audio because it's just some music in the background minus a gunshot. I don't want to get copyrighted. It's not something I want to deal with right now. It's kind of the smart thing to do. So with all that out of the way, let's jump into this trailer because it's pretty sweet. There's a lot of good gameplay footage, and I want to break some stuff down because this actually looks like an amazing game. Now that I've seen, I was already excited, but now that I've seen this and being a hunter myself and seeing what they've incorporated and how they've done it, this is going to rival Call of the Wild. And it looks like in August, Call of the Wild, Way of the Call of the Wild, the Hunter series might take a little bit of a back burner on the channel with this coming out. So anyways, let's jump into the trailer. I'll be hitting pause here and there and kind of bring up some stuff and whatnot. But yeah, so we start out, it's just kind of a sunrise. They show a red deer here chewing and stuff. There's a couple small red deer, bigger one walking around. Kind of cool. And then we get into the actual gameplay footage. That is right here, walking out of the lodge, walking up to the Jeep. Jeep looks actually pretty slick from this angle. I like the way that looks. Nice meaty tires. Looks like it's got some good off-road capability. He peels out like a bat out of hell and takes on. Now this had me confused when I saw it. And I watched it a couple times trying to understand, why does he just pull off? Is it like a mission or something? But then it dawned on me, this here is a game trail, which I like that they incorporated. So he pulls off because he notices this game trail and then gets out of the car and starts walking along the game trail. Now here he notices tracks on the game trail, and we notice you can analyze them and everything. Here's the other weird thing that I want to just go ahead and get out of the way. When you analyze it, pretty cool. It comes up in the top right. You have your compass on the top middle, bottom right. You have your wind, how fast it's going, and what position you're in, which is pretty cool. I like that they have how fast the wind's going, which means it's probably going to affect our bullets, but we'll know more as we get into the game. But over here, you see hunter sense. And I'm not sure if that's what brought up the hoof prints or if there's something else to that, kind of like old school arcade games and whatnot. But yeah, he's walking the game trail, walks up into the mountains. And here he finds an actual need zone, which is pretty cool. So again, I think he's using hunter sense. That's what I think he's doing. But he finds this need zone, and it says how often it's used, which is frequency of use, often. That it's a resting zone. Again, it says the animal species. I like that it shows that it's getting used often, because it's not like, I don't think it's going to be like Call of the Wild where they're there at certain times. They can be at these resting zones or feed zones at random different times, which is going to be pretty cool. Kind of a little bit more realistic. Now here he gets the sound, and it looks like he automatically comes up as soon as they make a sound. This is where the sound is, so you know which direction it is. It says the species, the sex, their behavior, but what I really like, what I Call the Wild is really missing, is the distance. It tells you how far out that is. Now, is that super realistic? No. Reality is when you're in the mountains, something can sound really far off and be really close, or it can sound really close and be on the other side of the ridge. So not quite realistic, but it is nice to have. And now here he's walking up on a herd of red deer, which is pretty cool. You can see red deer pretty easily without binoculars. Pulls up his rifle, zooms in. Now you see your magnification, you see your zeroing, and that's pretty cool. What's really cool Oh, and you can change your zeroing. I'm looking over here on the left side. I didn't notice that stuff before. Hold breath, your zoom, your zeroing. What's really cool that I like about this though is that little bitty red dot in the middle of that reticle. That's really cool. That's a neat little add. A little bit more up to date. It's not as old school. Not many people use it. Some states outlaw it, but it's still cool to have. See, it's nice, big, red deer. Now it's going to break out of the gameplay. Just kind of show an animation. I wish I could see what brand scope this is because they have brand deals. And I know Loophole is one. And I was wondering what scope this is because you don't see any branding on it or anything. But either way, that's beside the point. That was pretty cool. Then we break in. You hear a gunshot. Everything's spooking out, running away. Yada, yada, yada. Typical hunting game there. Now he's running up. Weird little reload. It doesn't look like he rechambered or anything, but they show the reload animation, which is cool. It was a good animation. And then here's the blood trail. Really easy to see. What's really cool, though, is the blood trail analysis. It tells you the blood color, which is a thing. It says it's pink. It says it's a lot of blood. And then it says air bubbles. Now you can decipher from that you hit lungs. And it looks like they put a little L in the blood drop there so that you know you hit lungs. But deciphering from that means a good lung shot, a lot of blood. You're going to have a good quick kill. You just see that crazy amount of blood. Looks like it's going to be easy to track. He gets over to it. Now the harvest screen. Harvest screen is really cool. It shows the hit, how far the animal went, like the energy, hit energy, just breaks down bullet trajectory, impact, everything. What you hit, what slowed it down. So you hit meat, kind of slowed it down, hit bones, really slowing down, got there into the lungs. Pretty cool. And then, yeah, it shows here a little bit more flesh, bone, and lungs. Again, showing lungs. Shows if you could hit arteries, intestine, spine, whatnot. You can go up, hit overview, hunt, trophy. So you can see a little bit more detail on what it scored and whatnot. But the bullet mapping and trajectory thing is really cool. As you can see it, just like, let's go back into that. Right where it comes up, shows the bullet going in, breaking apart or expanding. Going, just, man, the detail too. That's just one thing I wanted to go over. Just the detail on the animal, the muscle striations, the rib cage, the fur, all looks so good, clean. Antlers look clean. This just animation is so stinking cool. Just amazing. And then we get a little glimpse at the trophy lodge. Pretty neat looking trophy lodge. Got a little fireplace, some stands everywhere, stuff up on the ceiling, on the walls. Lots of places to put stuff, which looks like we might have different options for other animals and then a full body mount. And again, the work on the models is just so stinking cool. The muscle striations, like I said, rib, just the definition and all the muscles, the forearm, the cheek, everything, like just really well done. Overall, I'm thinking this is going to be a great game. Looks like they put a lot of time into it, especially the animals and everything. Animations looked good. And again, you can pre-order. The red deer, I believe, are on one of the pre-order maps for the Elite package, I believe. So it's not one that comes with just the normal package. But that'll be ready for us middle of next month. I mean, we're less than 30 days out at this point. Pretty exciting to get to there. And then, of course, as I mentioned, the Angler, we got a little bit more news on that. The main news I wanted to touch on is a release date, which is a release date of August 31st. Now, I'm not sure. To me, it feels like they're kind of rushing it to compete with Way of the Hunter. They don't want to lose out on the fan base. And I know a lot of fan base is excited for Way of the Hunter. So I feel like they're trying to rush it to compete with Way of the Hunter, which I hope they're not doing, because it feels like they might be doing that because there's some things they said they're not implementing right away, like a Great One or rares. And I feel like it could get old pretty quick if we don't have like rares to go after. The Great One doesn't really matter. I don't know how you do that with a fish. I'm sure they'll figure it out. But without having rares, it's kind of like cool, we'll go after some trophies and stuff, and there's only one reserve to start. It could die out pretty quick, but my hopes are still high for the game. I think if they do it right, we'll be into that game for quite a while. And that's also why I said come mid-August. The channel, you're going to see a switch in content. We're not going to be doing a whole lot of just the normal hunter Call of the Wild. We'll be getting into the whale hunter a lot, and then we'll be getting into the angler quite a bit too. So will be a little bit of a change, and we'll be figuring out those games together. But of course, we can't leave Way of the Hunt or Call of the Wild because we need to keep grinding and try and find that red deer great one. And of course, the whitetail and the black bear, because we don't have any of them. So can't give up on that game. We'll keep it in the mix. It'll end up being a steady rotation between all of them. But coming August, mid-August, these games will probably most definitely be taking a little bit of a front seat because they're new and we're all going to be overly excited for it. So anyways, guys, that's it. As always, hit that like, subscribe, share button. Helps me and the channel grow and helps other people know about the great content we're releasing. And stay tuned for Saturday because the hunt that was supposed to go up today will now be going up on Saturday. But anyways, guys, much love. And as always, go enjoy a good hunt with a good friend. I'll catch you in the next one.